Up next, for the first video of 2023 on my channel, continuing in the series, which seems to be getting a lot of interest and I think a lot of appreciation, so I'm continuing with it. This is the fourth part of the series of essential niche fragrances when you're starting your collection or just adding to it. So this is part 4, gonna do 5 more niche fragrances from 5 different houses. Find out what they are coming up next. Welcome back, everybody, to JoelTheNose here at Osme Perfumery. And just making sure my microphone, okay, we're all good. Happy New Year to everybody, 2023. This is my first video, so I wanna just hope that everyone's gonna have a great and prosperous new year and good things and good health for you and your families. And so, with that being said, let's get right into this. I started this series a few weeks ago where I talked about 5 essential niche fragrances from 5 different houses. So I'm not doing multiple fragrances from, say, the same house. What I'm trying to do is give you a variety of really good classic collection building fragrances from different niche houses that give you really good variety, I think, and a good versatility to your collection. So I've already done 3 videos, so that's 15 I've already named. So we're gonna be basically doing another 5 more to get to 20. And again, this is in no particular order, but from Mosk, Milano, we have Mandala. Mandala is, to me, one of the best incense, green incense fragrances of all time. It is just mesmerizing. I look for words to describe fragrances that, other than just telling you the notes, because this is a fragrance that just takes you to another plane, another level. It is, at the same time, both energizing and soothing because of that green incense combination. Mandala is the first fragrance I ever owned from Mosk Milano, one of many that I have. And if you don't own it, you absolutely, well, you gotta check it out because it needs to be in your collection. This was the first of many for me from this wonderful house. All right, next, gonna go to another, I think this one's, this house is a little bit more under the radar. Rosendo Mateo, really, really excellent perfumer. He's done a lot of work for other fragrance houses, has his own niche brand, and has been releasing a lot more stuff in the last year. This is number 7, one of the newer fragrances came out in the last year. Number 7 is just, the main notes are patchouli, oud, and vanilla. And this is a dark, sexy, boozy beast. If you're looking to make a statement, up your game, get past the freshy or, just kind of starter fragrances, this is one, and that's why I picked this fragrance from the house of Rosendo Mateo as I think the essential from the line and what should be in your collection. I promise you, even younger people watching this video, I did a video a while back with Colin, who is a 21-year-old fragrance enthusiast that comes into the store a lot, has done some videos with me, and he bought this kind of on a whim, and he said that it just gets unbelievable attention from the young ladies, so don't be afraid. Next, let's go to Montale. Haven't talked about Montale yet. Again, Montale, one of the most prolific producers of perfume out there. I mean, tons of new releases every year. Sometimes gets a little bit daunting. I personally can get a little overwhelmed sometimes, but what you gotta do is make sure you smell the fragrances. Each one is very unique. There are some that will overlap. I don't think that they're necessarily similar, but they have a certain DNA. And the one fragrance, which is almost impossible to pick from this entire house, but I would go with Arabians Tonka. Arabians Tonka came out a few years ago, and what can I say? It is one of those fragrances that, especially if you like Tonka, which has that kind of like spicy, a little bit vanilla, it's a great base fragrance to build around. And Yeah, Arabians Tonka. Again, Montale, love the bottles, love the house. Good price point, 180 bucks roughly or so for a 100 milliliter bottle. So you're getting in for under $2 per milliliter, which I think is a really excellent range to be in for a quality niche house. But there you go. Essential, absolutely Arabians Tonka. Put it into the collection. Next, another house. Going over some big houses today. I started my videos with some of the ones that I personally really like and maybe not quite as popular. Now we're into some of the big bad boy popular fragrances and niche houses. This is of course from Roja Parfums. Roja Dove, the creator, founder, perfumer. Creation E. You know, a lot of people, I debated on this one because I think as one that could easily be an essential kind of fragrance to start with would be Elysium, which is a much more fresh, it's a kind of like, I would call like a gateway niche fragrance. A lot of people that come in here to Osme, you'll see maybe they're coming from the Acqua di Gio or Bleu de Chanel or, you know, kind of like a Dior Sauvage type freshy marine fragrance or blue fragrance. Elysium is like one of the first ones people gravitate towards. It is a great fragrance. But I personally like Creation E better for an essential. I think there's, again, if you're gonna start essential and niche, why start with a freshie? Go something a little bit darker. This is Coca-Cola in a bottle with rum or booze. It could be a Jack and Coke or it could be a rum and Coke. Either way, it's got that effervescent kind of Coca-Cola. It almost tastes like Coca-Cola gummy bears also, like mixed in. Don't know how they did it, but it really is truly, I think, one of his special fragrances. This is, by the way, from the Parfum collection. They have a different variation of Creation E here in the US because of naming and patent issues. Over in Europe, it's called Enigma. Here it had to be called something different. It's Creation E. This is, I'm recommending from the, what we call the Cologne collection. That doesn't mean cologne strength. It means it's got more citrusy, citrus notes and a little bit lighter at the top, on the top notes. It's still an eau de parfum. This is still very concentrated. You're gonna get great projection and great longevity on your skin. So, but I do like this, this Parfum collection series. I'm sorry, Cologne. Cologne, the Cologne collection series. Get the names all mixed up here. That is from the Cologne collection. Lastly, of course, but not least, Amouage. Haven't talked about them yet. And this one, another really tough choice. Could have gone with so many fragrances and none of them would have been a wrong choice in my opinion. But I'm going with, you already saw, Beach Hut Man. This is one of the first niche fragrances I ever smelled here in Osme, probably about 4.5, 5 years ago. I remember when I smelled this, this is when I knew niche fragrance, the niche fragrance world was something for me, and it was something totally different than I'd have ever smelled. Even though it wasn't the first one I got, that was actually 8 and Bob. 8 and Bob, the original, and I've already added that into my essentials, is what I would consider one of those kind of starter gateway niche fragrances because it's, you know, kind of a freshy and it's like a palatable way to jump in. This, when you smell it, is just like blew me away. The mint, the spiciness, the fact that it's actually not, I think, for beach weather, but this is for colder weather. I wore this in New York 3 years ago to the first Scent Explorer in the really cold weather, and it just worked wonders. And as you know, in that cold, dry weather, a lot of fragrances don't last very long. This one still did. So Beach Hut Man to me is, again, it's a personal thing, but you cannot go wrong with this if you add this as an essential to your collection. And that's it. So I will keep going on. I think this is a cool series and I like trying to get through as many of these fragrances as I can to introduce you to a lot of what I consider essential niche fragrances. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. I'll be back soon with another video. Peace, love, and perfume.